Twisted Dandy was almost completely different. There's an old Twisted Dandy concept made by the Dangerous creator Qwel that's literally blowing up right now. And with this old post surfacing, it begs the question, what happened to this old concept? Or if it's still coming to the game, or if Qwel has something even better planned. Not only do we have this exciting old concept, but we have the idea of skin rarities that got proposed. Let's get into it, man. So I stumbled upon this idea, which I actually love a lot. So Danger wants to sort their skins by rarity, so the community isn't peeved about how they look. And before I even get into this concept, I want to say yes. And that is for a couple reasons. So skins are absolutely not created the same, right? So you have skins like Starry Night, which is a skin that can be bought from Dial Shop for, I think, 600 Iker. You then have a skin like North Star Astro, which can only specifically be bought from Bobette during the Christmas event. Soothing Pollen can only be bought by Bassie during the Easter event, and Scarlet Knight can only be bought during Halloween. There's also the Star Time skins, which can only be bought through a Game Pass Robux skin, with some tunes having skins that can only be claimed from an advent calendar, and some that can only be bought from a Game Pass during a holiday event. If you couldn't tell, there is a wide freaking range of how skins are created, with some of them having trails, some of them having like these idle little like in-game sprite textures. It's a lot, man. So this player theorized this. So uncommon skins equals a simple color. So like the Starry Night Astro, that is the common skin. I believe they're using Brawl Stars as an example, where this would be like that green hanger. Like, so you would go through your skins and it would be sifted to uncommon. Or a decent recolor with an extra model details is super rare skins. And epic skins are skins that have a great take on the character with added visual effects. Like, ultimately, these are completely subjective. However, it literally perfectly reminds me of literally the Fortnite shop. Like, you would literally buy rare, epics, different skins that would have different costs of Robux based on how the game developers think it's valued. Literally. Like, literally. Danny's World, like many games similar, have lots of skins in them. Of course, when it comes to so many skins, some are bound to be better than others. Danny's World is no exception from it. I would completely agree, and skins are, like, they're subjective. With the top comment being, no way we got Brawl Stars skin rarities into Danny's World, but this is needed, by the way, very needed. I think it's pretty neat. This is a very good idea. Honestly, I kind of wish we had. Very good stuff. Also, for some current reason, there's a dialogue between Rebecca and Connie that's like currently going viral. Like literally yesterday, this randomly started doing numbers for some reason, but it's talking about how with Connie's character, there's something weird. Basically, there's something weird with Gordy going,
Hey, Connie.
yeah, huh, little guy, there is an effort. I mean, sure, I am seeing your attempt there.
At least I am trying, right?
True. Unlike a certain fake night, with this one really doing the numbers where Rebecca doesn't even try to call her Connie. Just straight up goes, Bulinsky, girl, it is great seeing you. It's Connie still, but hey, your outfit is great as always. Oh, thank you. You know me, making just the best outfits and costume. In case you guys didn't know, Connie was originally a Halloween tune, but was quote unquote deemed to be like too popular, and then was permanently moved to the original tune cast as a non-holiday character in December of 2024. But all of the holiday tunes still know her and remember her as one of them, you know, one of the holiday tunes. So there's just that weird little dynamic. Doesn't really make sense to talk about it now, but it's still fun. And now, moving on to that, I made a video yesterday talking about this lethal theory that's currently circulating. And it's the idea that a new lethal is coming, basically. Players are speculating that inside of the new 2-player machine update with new achievements, there's gonna be a new lethal. With the reasoning being, Dial came out with the addition of the circle machine. I'm not kidding. But low-key, it does kind of have that feeling in the air. However, based on this, Kirsty's saying, if there is some secret addition to this update, can they please fix Twisted Dandy and make him an actual threat? And it's funny that Kirsty brought this up now because they ultimately brought up a different point. And that is this old Twisted Dandy concept that Qwel brought up a long time ago, but then just never touched again with the 10-foot pole. This idea is actually so good on paper. It seems like it could totally fit in the game. I genuinely am excited to go back and look to see what the heck happened to it, dude? So this literally blew up, right? With Kirsty saying, this is such a cool concept for Twisted Dandy. Why did she never go through with this? Genuine consequences for angering him. Hello. And that's what this screenshot talks about. This old concept idea where not buying from Dandy is a consequence forever. So Qwel said, guys, what are your thoughts on an idea I had? Obviously, this is just an idea, but I wanted to ask, what if after you anger Dandy, he was permanently a spawnable on your floors and didn't return to the store? And originally, I was naive to this idea because I'm like, oh, well then he doesn't become more of a threat. You won't really see him. And he's just going to be another Twisted in the circulation. It's unlikely you're going to see him anyways, right? But I was a freaking moron. I was a freaking moron because the biggest part of that he didn't return to the store. Dude, that is actually sick. Literally the rest of the game, Dandy just doesn't come because you didn't buy from bro. So the only items you can get are now the items that spawn on the floor or are created by tunes and their abilities. Like, it's so freaking sick. Your tapes essentially become meaningless unless you're a tune that uses tapes, but it brings up so many ideas. Like, is there gonna be a different feature for tapes? Or is that part of the punishment? Kirsty replying saying, having the store permanently disabled for the rest of the run would be so cool. Because, yeah, it really would. Jackie says, like when you grab the first piece of Mom's shovel in The Binding of Isaac, and it causes her foot to be permanently added to the enemy spawn pool on every room until the end of the run. Yes, permanent consequence, right? So I wanted to go back and see when this idea was originally brought up. Right? Because truly, what happened to this concept? Okay, I found the original post, but like this was said well over a year and a half ago now, with Qwel saying afterwards, like, again, not saying I'm gonna do this, just putting out the idea for discussion, with Qwel saying again, the worst part about him is the instant kill factor. His speed and range aren't exactly awful with that in mind, so maybe this would help make Dandy run smoother to grind research as well. And so this was still in the more beginning stage of Dandy's world, where that was more of a common issue, was getting Twisted Dandy research. And that actually appears to be the last it was talked about. Dang. And just so you guys know, literally, I am being that guy, but I literally made a video talking about, is Dandy in the next tune of the week? Talking about the Twisted Dandy rework that's going to come. We're not just talking about this old concept because we just happen to find it. No, Twisted Dandy has been talked about getting buffed for literally months, and we just saw this old concept. And just in case you're not caught up, here is a really freaking fast recap of the Twisted Dandy rework / buff that's eventually coming. Twisted Dandy will soon receive buffs at some point, likely to be more dangerous, like Twisted Dial. It is unknown what this buff will be or when it will come out. So forever ago, somebody asked, oh my god, yes, could you also make Dandy like a little bit stronger? And Qwel's like, I do want to buff Twisted Dandy at some point. And then someone asked again if they're planning to make Dandy harder because Dial is the GOAT. And Qwel's like, yeah, I want to buff his Twisted form some. No direct plans yet, but I'm coming up with some idea. Currently inside of Dandy's world, Dandy is one of the only lethal tunes in the game. Lethal meaning, no matter how many hearts you have, even if you're Sylvester, you get hit once, you're dead. Dial is the same way. His speed is slow, which is the main reason why he's really easy to get around. But Twisted Dandy goes after machines when they're finished, along with instantly killing anyone he attacks, like any other lethal. His attention span is very high, which is the only thing that's really threatening about him, and his detection range is extremely high, which means he'll see you from far away, he'll stay on you from a far away, but he's just slow. So you're able to avoid him or get away from him relatively easily, kind of dropping the fear of having a lethal Twisted altogether. So ultimately, with all these things in mind, that he's a slow lethal killer, the idea of him routinely coming back to the game, like being one of the Twisteds in the pool, very, very cool idea. That is very cool. However, you just wouldn't see him very often. But more so than anything, to make the lethal actually punishing, the idea of not being able to buy at all is punishing. Like, not just it's hard to deal with, but like it truly takes away a full element of the game from you. And it's something that you pretty much have complete control over. Like, if you don't want to lose that, you just buy from him. You know what I mean? So what do you guys think about this old twisted idea? Obviously, I like it. Frankly, I've been on my hands and knees for a twisted dandy rework for literally over half of a year, man. It's coming eventually. We just don't know when or what it is, but I can't freaking wait. And that is going to be all that I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching.